Do you have enough light in your life? Are you soaring in the joy around you? Are you stuck and unable to make life happen? Stay tuned for the Rabbi Jenny Show, where you will learn how to bask in the light and find more joy and meaning in life. Call to talk to Rabbi Jenny at 888-565-1470 and email questions and comments at rabbijenny.com. And now, if you're ready, stay tuned for the Rabbi who will light your world on fire, Rabbi Jenny.
Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. It's Rabbi Jenny. Welcome to the Rabbi Jenny Show. We have a very, very exciting show. Lots of guests, lots of exciting energy. I want to remind you that we are live on Facebook. You can also get us on the iHeartRadio app from all over the world. So please do that. Listen up. This is going to be an exciting show. And there is a couple listeners out there that I believe this show is for, because if you have had a bright idea, but you have had trouble following through or nurturing that idea to fruition, this is the show for you. Our topic today is awakening the sacred feminine energy within. But before we go into that exciting topic, I want to remind you of the two main ideas that stream through every show on the Rabbi Jenny Show, and they are this. One, the world is happening for you and not to you. And that's 100% of the time, it is happening for you and not to you. And why it is happening for you and not to you, folks, is because you are divine love light energy, and you are always expanding and always growing. So whatever has come into your life to expand and grow you, and it is happening for you. And that is very exciting, no matter how it seems. Let's get to the topic. This topic is not inspired specifically by the Torah portion this week. It's actually inspired by a very exciting event that I'm a part of this weekend. It is the Awakening the Sacred Feminine conference coming up at the Duncan Center in Delray Beach, Florida. And I was really inspired to talk about this idea of the sacred feminine. What is the sacred feminine? Do people really understand what it means, the difference between the sacred feminine and sacred masculine, and how often we limit ourselves by thinking we don't have both within us. So let's just talk a little bit about what it is. What is the difference between the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine? Well, let me tell you this. The sacred masculine is the seed, and the sacred feminine is the soil, right? The seed goes in the soil, and in the soil is the mystery and the darkness and the nurturing and the excitement and the time that you wait, that every kid who gets that little egg carton with the seeds in the soil, and you put the little bean seeds in the soil and you water them every night. I may be dating myself. I don't know if they still do this experiment in grade school, but you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait. And finally, the little bean pops out of the soil. The feminine energy that we're awakening on today's show is the ability to wait, is the ability to trust in the mystery and the darkness and the magic of the womb. It's wonderful, and we all have it. So isn't that exciting? Don't be threatened, gentlemen who are afraid to get in touch with your feminine side. When people say that, they don't mean wear pink, okay? They don't mean watch chick flicks. They mean learn to get more in touch with the mystery. Let the details of life inspire you. The male energy is the idea, the bright idea, the sun. The female energy is the moon. The time it takes, the cycles it takes to actually have it come into fruition. And how many times in our own life do we have difficulty once we get that bright idea? Now, I was doing research after research about what is the feminine, what is the masculine. I was thinking, why am I doing this show this week? Because there's somebody out there listening that has maybe had the same bright idea over and over and over again. And every time you do, you might do a little bit of work on the idea. You might get a little discouraged. You might get, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit distracted, right? And then you can't follow through. And that's what it means to tap into this magical sacred feminine within us. The ability to nurture ourselves, the ability to connect with that moment in between birth and, copulation. What would we say? What we say? The magic of the moment and then the magic of birth. There's a lot of stuff that happens in between. So we have to learn to nurture our sacred feminine. So what's really important on the Rabbi Jenny Show, and if you're listening, is to get yourself that journal. I always talk about the journal. The journal is going to be your number one tool for nurturing your sacred feminine. Julia Cameron, she wrote The Artist's Way. She was brilliant in this idea. She understood that to be an artist, to be a writer, it was important to get into be comfortable in the details, be comfortable in the process of life, be comfortable waiting those 9 months for something to be born. And so she called them the morning pages. Every day, write 3 pages a day of whatever, whatever. So if you have your journal, or if you get your journal today, you're going to do that every day. You're going to learn to write 1 page a day. That's it. It could be anything. And if it is an idea that you've gotten and then you've been stuck over and over again and I'm talking to you, write 1 page on it. 1 page on what could possibly happen if you did something on this idea. It can be anything. And it doesn't have to be anything big, which is something I'm learning recently from a teacher of mine. It doesn't have to be like a new job, a new marriage, a new house, a move. It doesn't have to be something huge. It could be like, I don't know, I don't want to eat something the same, or I don't want to play into the drama of my friends anymore, or maybe I need to walk more at night just to be outside. But you just can't seem to do it. You turn on the TV instead. You go for that quick masculine idea. We cannot live without both. My teacher, the great Rabbi, Rabbi Joseph Gelberman, used to tell this story, which was the greatest illustration of the difference within us of the masculine and feminine. And in Jewish culture, God has actually a masculine and feminine side, which growing up as a little girl, I never learned about. I always thought it was, Hashem was a male a god, but that's actually not spiritually or mystically true. There is the Shekhinah, which is the feminine aspect of God. And the story goes like this, that the Shekhinah and Hashem, or Adonai, were together. They were in love, and there was the Garden of Eden, and they were one force, one light. And when Eve, the feminine energy, decided that we were going to enter the act of creation, we were no longer going to be settled with the way things were, and that we were going to move out from that initial garden and start building new gardens and start to create, that the Shekhinah actually left with her. And our whole life is to unite these two forces within us. Our whole life is to unite that bright idea, that Hashem, that Adonai, that God, that fire, that bright light, that sun, right? That our whole purpose in life is to unite that with the inner, with the darkness, so it can become, the creation. Another good example of this is baking something. Right? We all know, I'm going to bake a cake or make brownies at night. We get the quick mix, we make everything together, we pour it in the thing, and then what do we got to do? We got to put it in the oven. We got to wait. That's such an important thing to understand. It's such a necessary, wonderful thing to understand. And there are many, many different ways. So we have the journal. Another way that you can nurture is to surround yourself with people that inspire you and encourage you as much as possible. This is so important. You want to surround yourself in a womb, in a nurturing environment as much as possible. So if in your job or in your normal life that you have to lead, you don't have that, if you have an idea or something that you're trying to follow through on, go online, join, email some of your friends that you think or have, would support you, and set up a coffee, set up a weekly meeting. Just, be with me, talk to me, tell me, nurture me on this idea, be with me. I know for myself, going to seminary and becoming clergy and doing all of that, I had to surround myself with other men and women who went on that path. And if it's anything that you're doing, it's so important to keep yourself in a sacred womb and allow yourself to create, with ease. And that's feminine energy. They always say like the chicken, the chickens, talking in the hen house, right? The hen house. And that's because the feminine energy does that. It nurtures, it creates. And believe me, men do this just as well as women because they have that energy within them. We are a united energy being. We have the masculine and then we have the spiral of the feminine in all of us, right? So the other idea that I had was, I have a whole bunch. Here we go. Where we go? Where are they? Okay. Creating the support system. You want to have your journal, and then you want to always take care of yourself, even when you feel like you can't. This is so important. Don't be in a rush when it comes to taking care of yourself. Okay? Little kids, Mom, did you brush your teeth? Right? Yeah. Right? Stop. Take a bath. Take care of yourself. Make yourself a cup of tea. Turn the TV off for a second and sit with yourself. Be kind. Care for yourself. And this is the other tool I wanted to teach you is positive affirmations. Because so much of our life is programmed like we can, or it's going to take too long, or this is out of the box, or what are you thinking, or who do you think you are, or all those voices that we hear. It doesn't really match what everybody else is doing, and yada, 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 yada. Well, we can spend our time focusing all of that, but we don't do that here on the Rabbi Jenny Show. What we do is we create our own tapes and our own messages. So you say things like, I believe in myself. Or you can even talk to yourself as if second or third person, I believe in you. You do have the power. You do have the love around you. I choose today to notice the love around me. Let me tell you something. If the universe has given you an idea or an inkling, it's come from within you. And that's the other important thing to understand about the divine feminine. It's the hidden. It's within. The masculine is everything that you can see, the sun. And the moon comes out at night. So it's everything that's come within you. It's trusting your intuition, trusting your guidance. A good way to get in touch with this is when you get in the car to go to work in the morning or go to school to walk to the bus stop or however you go. In the morning, check in with yourself. How are we going to go there today? Instead of just going the way you always go. How you want to go today? You want to drive the long way? You want to go 95 on the highway? You want to take a side turn? What do you want to do? Let yourself choose a different way. Get in touch, notice yourself, notice your feelings. And what often happens is if you do that, you will notice things that will inspire you and feed and nurture new ideas. I wrote a meditation today that said, and it was actually inspired by a Neil Diamond quote that I want to tell you guys about because gotta love Neil Diamond. But it was this idea of, you can't see anything new if you don't see anything new. Right? And so it's important to understand that the masculine energy or the Adam in the garden was comfortable. The masculine in us is comfortable. I'm going to go to my Starbucks. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go the way I always want to go. Horse, tree. I always make fun of the Adam in the garden. He's just naming everything over and over again, right? And the Eve in us is a mystery. Wait a minute. Maybe there's something more. Maybe there's something else I'm supposed to do. But if we never take the time to say, is there something else you want to do today? Is there something else you want to do? Another good example is, you ever have that person that you call every single day? A friend or someone that you talk to every single day, same time, every single day, every single day, every single day. You don't necessarily want to talk to them every single day. All right, this isn't a judgment call. We're not going into our past or we're not analyzing ourselves, but that person, the same person every single day. And you ever get that feeling, boy, I really wonder what's going on with so-and-so.
It was so small, but felt so heavy when I held him.
When I held it, I felt
And then you
powerful.
say to
I held
yourself,
him. I cried.
oh, they're probably busy. I'll just call the same person I always talk to.
Open, cracking apart.
All right. We got Amy Steinberg's amazing musical playing. She's going to be our guest later today. This is Rabbi Jenny. We're going to be right back in a few minutes with the anti-defamation lead, Tracy Grossman, and just Sula, an amazing young woman who's in touch with her sacred feminine. I'm going to make that assumption. We'll be right back on the Rabbi Jenny Show. Stay tuned. Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from the Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life.
This is an important message for those suffering with a drug or alcohol addiction. The treatment of drug or alcohol addiction in the past has been limited by a belief that addiction only affects the mind and the body. At Epiphany Resources, a treatment model has been uncovered that includes both the mind, body, and the spirit. At Epiphany Resources, the client receives a comprehensive and revolutionary integrated treatment model, which which allows the client to rewrite one's story of shame created by addiction and rewrite as one of self-esteem and power. By treating one's mind, body, and spirit, the chance of recovering from drug or alcohol addiction is increased at levels not believed before. If you or someone you love is struggling with a drug or alcohol addiction and is looking for a new effective approach, call Epiphany Resources at 1-800-232-0657. Recover now.
The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Kaladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net. You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back. It's Rabbi Jenny. We're here talking about awakening the sacred feminine. Before we introduce our bad mama jamma, I would just want to give you that Neil Diamond quote that I mentioned. It's stay on the merry-go-round and you miss a lot of scenery. And that is really, really true. And it's not as fun as the roller coaster. Yes. And then I also want to say something cool about Hebrew, because I always talk about the code, and I always talk about that those 22 letters are within you. They make up you. Your sacred vessel is those same 22 letters. And the coolest thing about the masculine, feminine, and the divine is that the Hebrew always reflects this idea of balance and harmony. And the word for sun is shemesh, which includes the words for the sacred feminine, but the word for moon is Yerech, which includes Yud and Hey from the male Hebrew word. So it's very, very cool that even though the physical manifestation is masculine and feminine on the outside, it's reflected that in order to balance it, the Hebrew code must reflect the opposite. So it's very cool stuff, very deep. If you like it, go to the Rabbi Jenny Experience. We'll talk about it later. All right, so it is time to introduce our bad mama jammas. It's terrible, right? I know. I was like, can I black up? Hey, welcome to the Rabbi Jenny Show. We have Tracy Grossman, the incoming regional board chair for the Anti-Defamation League. She's also a trained facilitator for No Place for Hate. And we have beautiful Jasula with us. She's a student at Atlantic High School. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Rabbi Jenny
for
Show.
having us.
Yeah. All right. So, talk to us first, I guess, Tracy, about what you do there and what No Place for Hate is. And then I guess, Jasula, you're going to tell us about how you were inspired to join the program and what it did for you. Okay? Let's hear it.
Thank you so much. So just as background reference, the Anti-Defamation League is a 104-year-old civil rights organization. We have a dual mission, which is to protect Jewish people, but to fight for civil rights for everyone. It's sort of from the Hillel statement, if I'm only for myself, who am I? Mm-hmm. And ADL has a lot of different programs. I call it a multifaceted organization. And one of the pieces that I'm the most excited about is the work in the schools through our No Place for Hate program. So we have anti-bullying, diversity awareness programs that range from K through the workplace.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really incredible. We even have a preschool program, unfortunately, because hate is learned, and it's learned young. Yes. And the best way to stop it is to stop it as soon as we can. Mm-hmm. And so our programs focus on teaching kids about the different roles in bullying incidents, how they can become allies, what to do in bullying situations, to understand bias, to become familiar with themselves and the parts of themselves that help them understand differences and accept differences in other people. The programs are phenomenal. As a young child, I was bullied in schools, and these programs were not available at the time, and people really didn't talk about bullying. So when I discovered that I could do this work, it was beshert. So I feel very blessed to be able to do this. And through these programs, I get to meet incredibly amazing students like JJ. So it's a real blessing.
And it's important for people to know Anti-Defamation League is for all people.
All
It is
people.
for all people. It doesn't just apply to Jewish people. It's really to bring awareness to mistreatment and ignorance.
Yes.
So this Jasula, welcome to the Rabbi
Thank
Jenny
you,
Show.
thank
Say you
you.
might want to pull the mic a little bit closer so everybody can hear you real good.
Perfect.
Okay. So talk about No Place for Hate and how you decided to enroll in this program at Atlantic High School.
Yeah, perfect. So I am a senior at Atlantic High School, and during my freshman year, I wasn't very involved in my school because when I was in middle school, I was bullied daily because of the way I dress, the way I speak. So when I heard about the No Place for Hate program, it's feel like, oh, that's something maybe I can be myself. That's a place where I know that I can feel comfortable because all they do is stand against injustice. So when I get to meet Miss Tracy and other students who have the same vision and the same mindset as me, actually opened my eyes to find my voice because they took that away from me back when I was in middle school. So when I find my voice in different program that we do, like the simplest thing, like we have a random act of kindness where we can tell a random person you are beautiful, you're
Love
kind,
it.
you I respect you. Something that simple, we know it can change somebody else's life. Because I remember when I was bullied, if somebody just say hi to me, it would make my day. So being a part of the ADL program actually made me understand that I am matter, I am somebody, and especially at that age, when you was talking about before. There is a part of me I didn't know yet.
Right.
Yet. But by being a part of the program, I find every piece of myself where I can say, Jasula, you are you. I'm proud of you. I believe in you. You can do this. You can do that. And since then, I never stop. And I tell myself that I am going to use my story to be a light for my future and to help others as well. So I've been very excited to be a part of the ADL and to use my voice to help others as well.
And what grade did you start being involved?
I was in 10th grade when I
Oh
started.
wow!
Yes.
So that you've been in there for 2 years.
Yes.
So is there when someone joins this program, is there a what do you call it? You become a mentor? Do you get to help the new kids that join? Do you get to be a teacher, student teacher? How does that work?
But what we did, we had student training. Like I am a
okay.
trainer. I got my certificate where I go to elementary school and train other students actually to stand up against certain things that's happening in their school. And once you get to that level when you understand how to react to certain things that they're doing at school, you are able to get involved without a title. So now, instead of being a bystander, now I know how to teach others about how to be an ally. And it is so good to create a safe school. Like we have a safe school now. I mean, things still happen, but not as much because everybody will try to teach them how to not be bystander, how it's okay not to feel okay and to have somebody to cry on, somebody to tell your struggle and what you're going through. So it's been pretty good, especially at Atlantic High School. The kids actually understand words or matter. Either it's good or bad. Sometimes when you do good, it's best for the environment and for the student. Because when they were saying bad things to me, I never showed that. But deep inside, my self-esteem was going down.
It chips away.
Yeah. But when I find people like Miss Tracy, like Miss Lulis, other people who believed in me, now I find a new me, a new voice that I never knew that I have. So, and I think that's the positivity that I wanna bring to the whole campus as well.
It really does only take one person.
Absolutely.
I think that is unbelievable. So you probably get to see kids that are going through what you went through.
Yes.
And that must be the best moment of all. When you let them know, oh, me too, look at me. Look at me. And then they know. Because when you're bullied, you feel so alone.
Yes.
And you don't realize how simple it would be to be not bullied. I know my son was bullied, terrible, and anti-Semitic bullying, believe it or not, in Wellington. Can you imagine? But on the bus. And it only took one thing. I said to him, why don't you just confront? Say that you're not going to deal with this anymore. He said he was like, he kept going. He just reached back, grabbed, and just said, please stop doing that. That's all it took. He said, just stopped. But you feel so alone. I think that the fact that you're educating others, that it doesn't take much. I think that people who intimidate other people rely on the fact that you're a peaceful person, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So senior in high school,
Yes.
just Sula, what's next? What's going on? What's in the plans?
Very excited. I will be attending FSU. Yes, I'm so excited.
go
Go
Noles.
Noles.
She got a full ride.
Are you kidding me?
Thank you.
Oh
I'm
my
so
gosh, what you
excited.
gonna study?
I will study communication and political science, and after that, I will go for law school.
That's my girl. You give me a call. Got lots of connections. Gators, though. We got a lot of gator
It's okay.
lawyers. That's all right. That's all right. Wow. What kind of lawyer you want to be?
I want to be an immigration lawyer.
Oh, it's going to be important.
Yes, absolutely. We
Right.
need that.
Right.
Yes.
As a young person, how do you feel with all these things going on in the world right now? Like how does it feel? I often wonder, to be in high school, what it would be like. There's so much change.
One
going
thing,
on.
and the funny thing is, you're not the only person who asked me that. I feel hopeful because that's the first time I see the youth is so much involved in what's going on. So I feel hopeful that as the future leaders of this country or maybe the world, because we come all over, that we will use our voice and our education to actually make the change that we want to see.
Wow. Do they do No Place for Hate at college? The college level?
We have different programs for college. So not as much, although we can tailor programs if a school wants us to. We work through fraternities and sororities and Hillel and other programs like that. Ideally, we'd like the kids to get the training before then, but we know that some adults don't even have the training, and we really have to reach everybody where they're at. Drusilla is so lucky because Atlantic Community High School has really made an investment in their students. I mean, if you
So
think
cool.
about, she was so silent in freshman year, not giving back, and what she's able to give back to her community now. I think a lot of times schools get preoccupied with testing and with requirements, and they forget that sort of the whole person really matters. And Atlantic had the foresight to understand that by investing the time and energy of training their students, that they were really creating a whole person and a whole student body that is warm and caring and compassionate, and that allows an environment for their students to blossom. And it's really special. We have programs that are standalones that we do a lot, but for a school to buy into the whole No Place for Hate curriculum, which is really a yearly commitment that they make, I think it shows the kids and the administration and the teachers and the parents that they have a commitment to that, which changes culture. And that's really what we're after. We're after changing culture. So we can come in and we're happy to do it, a one and done program, and that does make impact. But I think if you really want to change
Yes,
culture,
you
you have to make that
integrate it.
long-term commitment.
And that's the sacred feminine.
Yeah.
The ability to tap into that, the soil. Like you're planting the seed, but it's not enough to just plant it.
Yeah.
You got to water it. You got to wait. You got to get the sunlight and the moon. And there's that whole that's necessary. And I love Amanda. She's been on the show, and now you, Tracy. And I do believe there's like teaching children that things might not heal in a moment,
And when I
but
found
that
them,
over time,
It was beautiful.
they'll continue to heal. So you guys will hang out. We got more to talk about here on the Rabbi Jenny Show. We're here with Jasula and Tracy Grossman with No Place for Hate from Anti-Defamation League, talking about the sacred feminine. This is Rabbi Jenny. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Been cracking apart, breaking boundaries of my heart.
This is an important message for those suffering with a drug or alcohol addiction. The treatment of drug or alcohol addiction in the past has been limited by a belief that addiction only affects the mind and the body. At Epiphany Resources, a treatment model has been uncovered that includes both the mind, body, and the spirit. At Epiphany Resources, the client receives a comprehensive and revolutionary integrated treatment model, which allows the client to rewrite one's story of shame created by addiction and rewrite as one of self-esteem and power. By treating one's mind, body, and spirit, the chance of recovering from drug or alcohol addiction is increased at levels not believed before. If you or someone you love is struggling with a drug or alcohol addiction and is looking for a new effective approach, call Epiphany Resources at 1-800-232-0657. Recover now.
The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Kaladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net.
Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from the Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life.
You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Absolutely. Hey, welcome back to the Rabbi Jenny Show. We're talking about the sacred feminine. We have special guests in the studio, bad mamas. Over here, we have Jasula and Tracy Grossman for the Anti-Defamation No Place for Hate program. And actually, we're going to introduce our next guest who's on the phone with us. This is the original Bad Mama Jamma. Amy Steinberg, you on the phone?
Yes, I'm right here.
Are you watching the show?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Are you listening? Have you been listening to the show?
I have.
Is this girl, Jasula, amazing or what?
Oh my gosh, congratulations on a full ride, but
Thank
we
you.
are gators.
Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. So, Amy, we're talking about awakening the sacred feminine, and Amy Steinberg is one of the presenters at this week's conference, and she's also my little sister. So, Amy, have you been listening? What do you want to tell the listeners about the sacred feminine in your own life and how you nurture that? As an artist, you're probably pretty in touch with that.
Well, I'm a pear-shaped woman, so I'm just naturally a goddess, and I feel like it's part of my message to the world for, on a physical plane, to be comfortable in my own skin as a big goddess woman. You know, I mean, shoot. I mean, how many times have I joined Weight Watchers? But it's like there's that goddess, that juicy... You know, I love myself. Here I am to express and be the feminine goddess that I am, and I'm not going to play it small.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the journey of me as an artist and as a person and as a friend. I try to be out.
You know, we were talking.
I'm not an innie.
We were talking, Amy, about the idea that the feminine is the energy you need once you get the bright idea. The masculine is the bright idea, and the feminine is the nurturing. Now, I know you did, and it's in line. Awesome. It's in line with what No Place for Hate, your musical Breaking the Moon, your acclaimed musical that you wrote, and kids from high school actually performed it all over the United States. And the bullying aspect in that. How did you, when you got the idea for that musical, what sort of things did you do to nurture that to fruition? Like, what did you have to do to...
Wow, that's a really good question, and it's really perfect for this topic, because what I did was I let the story unfold. I had these characters, I had this idea, it was a seed, and I worked with these 7 kids that I worked with, and every week that we came back to work together, I knew a little bit more of the plot. I had not known. Now, some people write things out with on a board of, when people write things, they know what's happening next as far as the storyline. But I had no idea what was going to happen. I had no idea how this was all going to unfold. And you've seen the show, so you know that everybody winds up being connected. And I just trusted that this was going to be an awesome journey that exposed all of the struggles that the youth are having today. And it was really, really cool to see, oh my God, that character knows that character. And oh wow, that, it was, I was surprised. by spirit, by the Shekinah, if you will.
Yes.
It was really cool, very cool experience.
Tracy, when you brought No Place for Hate into the high school, did you have to tap into that? Like, were there times where you didn't know if it was going to keep going, or is there times where you feel like you have to keep it going?
Well, I'm lucky because the program's been around for quite some time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty established. It's a national program. But with each school, it depends on the reception of the administrators and the teachers and the students. Usually the students buy in pretty quickly. But there have been times when I've been facilitating a program in a school where the teacher will start yelling at the students in the middle of the program. So I think, it's really, it's not just the kids who need the work that we're doing. But again, it really depends on the school environment. And so sometimes they just get it right away. And other times you really have to put in that time and that effort and make the change happen.
And you have to trust. I know, like, being in the studio with you guys, I know you completely trust what you're doing. You know how it makes you feel, right? So I'm sure, Amy, as an artist, you trust, your creation. I guess it's the idea of trusting the creating of something at all, right?
At least, you either believe there's a power or you don't. And it's something I struggle with all the time. Is there a God? Is there a divine force? But then you go, well, what the heck is the thing that pops the seed open? It's not me. There's something that is the natural creative energy that is the isness, the allness. And if I can just sink into that, I have the hardest time just letting go and trusting, like you're saying, trusting that things are going to happen. I get to, meet it halfway. I'm not just sit there and go, life is happening. I'm just a robot. But, I have to believe that when I have that idea, it's a divine idea. And if I can let go, it will unfold in the most magnificent way.
Wow. So you're going to be a part of this conference this weekend with me, and you're going to be teaching about the energy body. How does your energy body relate to getting in touch with your sacred feminine, you think?
Well, I noticed when I started working with chakra meditation stuff that there are different parts.
What are chakras, by the way, for the listeners?
Okay, chakras are the energy centers that have been studied for ever. I don't even know. I really don't know the history of it, but I know it's an Eastern concept of the energy centers in the body. And there are 7 of them, and each of them represents a different part of the energy body. For instance, the root chakra is what grounds us to the earth, and it's our tribal nature. And as you move up, there's different centers. There's the throat chakra and the heart chakra and the sacral chakra, and they all represent different aspects of the energy body. And when I first started working with it, I noticed in this particular way that I do this meditation, I noticed that there were certain chakras that were just blocked, that I wasn't releasing into, that I wasn't letting free. And for me, actually, at the time, it was my heart chakra, and I think it had to do with our father's passing, believe it or not. So, finding a way to tap into that and listen and see, oh, wow, I'm blocked there, and how to let that go with a little bit of simple movement and meditation with certain sounds is really healing and really a beautiful way to just kind of quiet down and open up that hole for the trusting, energy to kind of come in. If that made any sense.
Yeah, no. And then you're going to be doing the there's a couple workshops that you're leading. The other one, you're going to be, I don't know. What's the other one you're doing? You're doing one on Sunday.
Creative expression.
Creative expression. How does creative expression and learning how to write? Well, we talked about it at the beginning of the show with just journaling, but how does letting yourself express yourself? Well, Jasula talked about finding her voice, but how does that directly relate to the sacred feminine inside of us?
Oh my gosh, we are in the society, it's more of the 50s, 60s paradigm that women are supposed to be quiet and go ahead in the kitchen and cook some dinner. But, we are, there's this sacred feminine that is just, again, out, expressed, fully alive, fully creative. And we're going to play theater games and me and my partner Georgia came up with this incredible exercise about obstacles and what keeps us from our dreams. And those stories, those old stories about whether it's that you're a woman or that you're to this or to that. And we do this little improv game with it. It's so fun. And I think play, when you put theater into something that is actually deep work, it's transformative. It's like laughter is they say laughter and tears are the 2 most transformative energies that you can create.
And I
you
just
know,
want to let
I cry enough when I'm PMSing. So
Okay. I just want to let the listeners know, Awakening the Sacred Feminine Conference, if you're interested in it, you can dial 561-346-8207. You can also go to my Facebook page, contact me, message me if you're interested. We are offering discounts for those who would like to attend, scholarships. We're also opening it. It's not just for women. You need to understand we have a couple men that are probably in attendance, and it's really tapping into the energy, separating ourselves from girl, boy. And we're really united. It's that divine union within, and understanding if you've decided to live evolved, then we're all going to live evolved together, male and
I
female.
love that. Can I also give a quick shout out about I'm having a concert Sunday evening at the Unity of the Gardens in Jupiter at 7:30. So after the conference, I'm going to try to drag everybody down there to listen to me do a concert. I'll also be performing a concert at the conference. And this conference is going to be so special. So if you can make it, then come join us.
Yes. Spend 3 days with Rabbi Jenny. It's going to be really fun. I was actually telling my sister that Amy and a couple of the other people that I've actually planned a late birthday party for myself. But it's a whole weekend long, growing and changing and doing sacred ceremony. So if you want to have a lot of fun and really open your eyes to where you can't enter the mystery of your own life, where aren't you willing to wait to get the answer you need? How do you, I feel like you got something to say. You have something to say, especially about the expression part.
Absolutely. I always have things to say.
I love this girl.
And one thing I always want to share, especially with the young girls, sometimes it's okay to go deep within and find that voice. I always say that find that voice that you may not think it's there, but it's there. Sometimes, like you said, we think, maybe this is something that boys or men can do, female cannot do it. But why not collaborate and do it both? So that's one thing I want every young boys and young females to understand, that it's okay to balance what you can do and your ability, because the sky is the limit. Actually, it's not the limit. Actually, because you can go above and
space. We're going to Mars. My son's going to Mars. Okay. Yes. Oh, good stuff. I know that, Tracy, you have an event you want to promote before we go to break.
So if you're interested in the work that the Anti-Defamation League is doing, our national CEO, Jonathan Greenblatt, will be at Boca West on Monday night. He's a phenomenal speaker, and he's going to lay out his vision for the work ADL is doing in the future, now through the future. And it is at 7:30 on Monday, March 27th at Boca West Country Club. Information's available on the ADL Facebook page and the ADL website, which is florida.adl.org. It's going to be a tremendous evening, and I'd love to see you there.
And if you are running a program or an after-school program or a school or even one of the magnet schools, or your kids involved with anything, or your kids involved with the school and your kids being bullied, or a friend of your child's being bullied, please, contact florida.adl.org or adl.org in any state, because we're on iHeartRadio and Facebook, and petition with the administration to bring this curriculum to your school. Because these are the times, like Gisela said, we got to find our voice. Amy, stay on the phone. We're going to go to break. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, stay on. We're going to go to break. Everybody stay tuned. This is the Rabbi Jenny Show. We're talking about awakening the sacred feminine. We'll be right back. You got Breaking the Moon on the air.
Shifting energy in the eye of the storm.
The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net.
Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from The Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life.
This is an important message for those suffering with a drug or alcohol addiction. The treatment of drug or alcohol addiction in the past has been limited by a belief that addiction only affects the mind and the body. At Epiphany Resources, a treatment model has been uncovered that includes both the mind, body, and the spirit. At Epiphany Resources, the client receives a comprehensive and revolutionary integrated treatment model, which allows the client to rewrite one's story of shame created by addiction and rewrite as one of self-esteem and power. By treating one's mind, body, and spirit, the chance of recovering from drug or alcohol addiction is increased at levels not believed before. If you or someone you love is struggling with a drug or alcohol addiction and is looking for a new effective approach, call Epiphany Resources at 1-800-232-0657. Recover now.
You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Challenge. Hey, welcome back. It's Rabbi Jenny. We have been talking about awakening the sacred feminine. We have Jasula and Tracy Grossman from the Anti-Defamation League. We have the infamous Amy Steinberg on the phone. Amy, still there?
Yeah.
Because it is time for the Joy Jar Challenge.
Joy, 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 joy. It's Adeline Gobergstein, and it's time for the Rabbi Jenny Ridiculous Joy Jar Challenge.
Okay, so I've decided to do this one a little differently. We don't have a caller. We're not welcoming a caller, but we have three amazing guests on the show. So we're going to ask all three of you to name 10 things as quickly as possible that make you ridiculously joyful. All right, you ready, Jasula? 10
Yes.
things that make you ridiculously joyful.
Writing, singing, dancing, cooking, what else? Talking, laughing, smiling, being on radio show, and studying.
Studying. I love it. I love it. Woo! We need like a little sound effects thing on the board. Okay, Amy Steinberg. 10 things that make you ridiculously joyful.
Brewing coffee in my house, the smell, my chihuahuas, my sissy Rabbi Jenny, my partner Georgia Winfrey, having sex, watching a really good Netflix binge, making collages, recording music, traveling in my car long distances, listening to books on tape, and shopping, of course.
You got one more.
Oh, prayer. I guess prayer is good.
Prayer and Sawyer.
And Soy, my nephew's Soy.
Sawyer.
He goes with you. That's like a package.
It's okay. We're like a pair. Okay. All right, Tracy, your turn. 10 things.
Oh my goodness, that's overwhelming. Okay, so my children, flowers, especially orchids, and flowers that smell good like gardenias and jasmine. Positive interactions with people, making people feel good, like just random compliments. Fighting hate, working with kids, Michelle Labgold. How many have I at? My parents.
I'm really into
my
yours,
parents
Tracy.
are amazing. And my sister, I should say that too, because if she's listening, then she'd be very upset. And
One more.
Just goodness, just kindness and love and feeling happy and
All right, so we just want to do some promotion here in the last few moments before we do the Jenny Jam. Okay, Tracy, announce the event that's coming up at Boca West one more time.
So this Monday, March 27th at 7:30 p.m. at Boca West Country Club in Boca Raton, Florida. Jonathan Greenblatt, ADL's national CEO, will be speaking. He's an incredible speaker, and he's going to talk about his vision for ADL now and into the future.
Okay, and that's at florida.adl.org. Okay, and Amy Steinberg, we have the Awakening Sacred Feminine Conference this week at the Duncan Center, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can contact us 561-346-8207. Amy also has a concert Sunday night.
Sunday night, 7:30 at Unity in the Gardens in Jupiter.
So if you want to hear some positive thought music, if you want to get in touch, Amy, you also have music on a lot of places they can download Amy Steinberg. She's got her own channel
everywhere.
on
iTunes,
Spotify.
Amazon, anywhere. Check me out.
That's pretty
Google
cool
me, I
when your
love to be
sister's on
Googled.
Spotify. There's nothing better than that. All right, so it is time, ladies. I think maybe we'll try to do a little bit all together. We're going to do the Jenny Jam. This is Amy.
Jam, Rabbi Jenny Jam, jam.
All right. You'll catch on. I'll do it once and we'll get good. Sweet Mama Mystery, open up and come to me. Show me how and challenge me to see something new. I said, Sweet Mama Mystery, lead me on till I am free. Break these chains and challenge me to see something new. I said the time is come, we cannot wait. There's new ideas to germinate and new frontiers to populate as we create something great. Shekhinah lead us, Shakti free us, Mary hold and believe us. Mama Kia with your light in the dark, birth something bright. Ready? Sweet Mama Mystery. Can you sing it, sis? Open. Come to me, show me how and challenge me to see. Sweet mama, sweet mama. Come on, Jasula, ready? Sweet mama, mystery, open up and come on, girl, come to me, show me how and challenge me to see. Something new. Whoa, I like that one, Sweet Mama Mystery. Woo,
I like it
Jenny
too.
Jam, Jenny Jam, Jenny Jam. Here it is. Here's the part of the show. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Gisela. And thank you, Tracy. But we're going to light you up for the last minute. We got to light you up. Turn down that jam for me. Okay, we're going to talk about this topic because remember I said when the show began, there's somebody listening that's had a bright idea. Let me tell you, bright ideas are good, but sunsets. Okay, we need the moon. We need to embrace the feminine. We need to start to nurture and love ourselves and believe in ourselves and nurture those ideas. So if you are listening and you have something that keeps kind of knocking at your door, it's a bright idea, and maybe you've had it over and over again and you've tried over and over again to make a shift or a change in your life and you haven't been able to do it. Well, this is the way you awaken your sacred feminine. You begin to nurture yourself. You begin to enjoy the moments of mystery, the moments in between the bright idea. That's the time you allow the universe to give you. You allow the story to unfold, like Amy said. You allow things to happen. You allow the creativity to happen. You know, we don't really understand what happens in that soil under there, but there's something that happens. I want you to take note of what I said. You know, ask yourself every morning, how do you want to drive to work today? Don't just go, okay? Don't just go to Starbucks. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I go there like twice a day. Okay, don't just go. Like, ask yourself, how do I want to drive to work today? What do I want to do today? Do I want to get up the same way, the same time, in the same garden, in the same place? That's Adam, my friends. That's the Adam within us. We got to tap into that Eve who'll eat the apple and get out and find something new. Get out your journal, and if you don't have your journal yet and you've been listening every week, you better go out and get a journal and start writing. And I don't care if you write, I hate writing 3 pages. I don't really care. Because on day 2 or 3, it's not going to be I hate writing. On day 2 or 3, you're going to, I don't know. You might write your grocery list or something. And then you might actually start writing. Or you could just write in the first sentence, I have this idea to something. Universe, what should I do next? Tap in with people who've actually created the change that you want to in your life. People like Amy, people like Jasula, people like Tracy, people affecting change. Go on Facebook with your Facebook friends and say, hey, everybody, I'm having trouble. I really want to do this. Who can support me? Who's done this before in their life? And then surround yourself with a womb of people who can nurture and love you. Let me tell you something. This is the most amazing time in the universe. The world is one world. We're one people. We're connected. It is the only time in our time where you can literally push a button and affect anyone on the planet. And you don't have to be in charge of a country to do that anymore. It's a very, very powerful time. So that means you can do anything. So if you have been inspired with some fire, we're going to fan that fire. That's what that sacred feminine is about. We're going to fan that fire. We're going to remind you one more time on the Rabbi Jenny Show to contact me if you'd like to come to this conference this weekend. Just hang out with me. And also go to, check me out on Facebook anyways. Like the page. That'd be cool. Ask me any questions you want. You want to go to florida.adl.org and check out the No Place for Hate. Bring that curriculum to your school. We've had an amazing example of what it does to change and empower young people in their life and give them a sense of who they are and their voice. I want to remind you of Amy Steinberg. She has a Spotify channel, a Pandora channel, I don't know, CD Baby, everything you can do with Amy Steinberg. You can also catch her this Sunday night at Unity in the Palms, right? Palms? And
Garden.
Unity in the gardens, palms. I mean, Jesus, give me a break. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. It's so amazing to be here with all of you. It's been so great, Gisela and Tracy. Thank you so much for being on the Rabbi Jenny Show. If you're listening, listen again. Play this one again. Understand inside you have these two forces. They're in you. We all have them. There's no more you and me anymore. It's us within. 1 + 1 = 2, not 1. Okay? When we understand that, when you understand that you can actually have united energy, you can be powerhouses. No longer is relationship a codependent. It's an interdependent, exciting thing. We can collaborate, we can create community, we can create conversation, and we can really, really, really change the world. This is Rabbi Jenny. Thank you so much for listening. Awaken your sacred feminine. I adore you. Bye.
Breaking boundaries of my heart.
You have been listening and lighting up your life with Rabbi Jenny. Join us next week for another session of love, light, and joy as Rabbi Jenny takes life to the next level. Are you ready? Rabbi Jenny says the time is now. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and